Good evening. Welcome to the live FB at Martin TFWong, and I'd like to welcome all of you. I hope you all had a good rest after a good dinner, and for those of you who have just buka puasa, selamat berbuka puasa in here, and right into the thick of things, what we call the left brain trading, as part of our educational series that we continue to do to educate the public, for those of you who is coming in here. And tonight it's more of what's the reinforcement of the ideas that we always talk about in our breakfast show, and we really want to bring to you, which I felt in my part very few blogger or very few live FB or even seafood talk about the left brain trading. Now, what is left brain trading? Can anybody tell me? Those of you who have just joined us in here, left brain trading. It's got to do with the otak, isn't it? That's right. Yes, that's right. So this is definitely, we're going to dwell into it and what are the things that we can do. Also, tonight, get ready your printer, because we're going to be getting you to do an exercise. So take note, if you have another computer, that will be great, because we're going to get you to download an exercise in here or spreadsheet here that you are able to do and come to a conclusion, which we will take it also to next this coming Saturday. So just take note of this one in here. So that's something that I just want to be. So it's a prerequisite, because I want to give really good value to you guys, so you're able to follow some of the things that we talk about and able to push forward and learn to use the left brain trading in here with the right mindset and technique to success in the stock market, whichever you had. And for those of you who are listening for the first time, if you are listening for the first time, just type 1 in there, so I do know that you are coming in and this is the first time for you, and it will definitely help me a lot to understand where you're coming from, and so also join our Telegram chat room in here. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/tradevsa, and all this, including tonight's talk, will be archived and put into the YouTube channel, so you don't miss any of our YouTube in here. And of course, those of you who are first time here, don't forget to download a copy of SmartRobie. On the top right hand side there, the QR code. You can download a copy for best trading idea, and many of our talks that we talk about in here revolve around the we will also be some of you may also notice that occasionally we are testing the Robie US on the apps that you see in here. That's right. And the SmartRobie, usually by 4 p.m. in the evening, the US will be ready, so we are actually turning it on. If you happen to see it, just try it out and let me know what's your feedback in here. Of course, US SmartRobie will be coming up. We are planning for release somewhere in June. Now we're just going through the day-to-day testing in here and getting the straightening out. And also those of you who had the chance to use it at 4 p.m. onwards, we'll turn it on maybe about an hour or so, and then we turn it off. Do use it and give us your feedback, and also share SmartRobie with your friends, and you get 200 credit with your friends in here. All right, and don't forget to join us every breakfast show that we're doing Monday to Friday, except Tuesday, every 10:15 for news update and trade idea that works. And this is the leaderboard that you see on the right hand side in here. Some of those stocks have done pretty well, and even today I think we pick up on the 21st March LC Titan in here, and also early on we have one Pentagon Guider, which is Faja, which I also talk about in here. Many trade idea works, and those are real money, real working in here. All right, so thank you again for sharing this video tonight in here. Now, if you look back to what we had 2 weeks ago, and news was talking about how positively our Bursa market in here, and that was on the 21st of February. They were really pinning hopes on how the stock market will move higher. I think they were talking about whether foreign funds are coming, and they're talking about general election 15, but that seems to die out now that we are in MCO 3.0. That's right. So things are not turning well. I'm going to give you an update tonight here. I'm not going to hold back anything, because I want you to make sure that you have all the right information and also the tools to make the right judgment in here. And that's always been what we really want to do here, is to get you guys continue to make money and avoid the market when there is no opportunity. All right, so that's what we have. So at that time, on the 21st April, which is about 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how high can Bursa go, can it go beyond the 1600 level in here, and that seems to be a real struggle by the time we saw it, right? And since then we have the COVID cases coming back in here. Finally we lifted up above, and then there were big movement on the 16th of April where stock shares on gloves started to move up, but smart money used that pretense to distribute under their holdings. And you can see right now we have one of the highest almost for new cases. You can have here, let me just switch to a laser pointer here, and you will notice in here the market previously was around April 14, which was about a month ago. We are trying to hit that old high. It looks like a double top, isn't it, right? But I think more likely with the MCO we will hit 4,000. Right, early on we were around 2,000, we went below 1,000, but we couldn't stay below that. So at the same time today also we had Harta Lega also released a very good earnings, which I reported this morning on the breakfast show, but they took that as a pretense to distribute 4 days ago, and even today Top Glove seems to be one of the big sellers. A lot of things are turning red, Pentagon, with the exception of steel stock, which continue to do well. And this is usually the case is for especially those of you who are listening for the first time. Take note of the pretense of what we call smart money, who continue to distribute under the disguise of bad news in here. All right, so this is what we have, so take note. Okay, let's move on next slide. Now, as a way to get out from our country in here, Malaysia governments are looking for new revenue stream in 2022. So definitely this is a report in here. GST is coming back. So one of the ways the governments are looking is to reduce the number of debts, to bring it down to 55% of our gross domestic product by 2023. So GST, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be coming back, something that we had. And I think it's a pretty good system to replace the SST, service tax, which coverage only 50%, but with the GST the coverage will be even more, may end up be actually paying more for that one. All right, so let's look at the Bursa trade statistic for the foreign participation. Now in here we already said in the past what we were really interested is the green, right? If we see this green line here, that means foreign funds are buying. But it's kind of be interesting to see foreign funds really buying over, like, only buy once a month. You see once a month here, and almost 3 weeks, once a month in here. So there are actually more sellers than anything else in here, and this is one of the leading indicator that we've seen so much in here. You can see foreign funds really flowing out here. We have all the red line, right? This is the outflow, and usually about 150 million in here. So right now you can see this market really going out of touch, and you can see the Bursa KL is going down, and many people are even losing interest in what the market can see. But we have to stay firm to know where the market is. So in here, foreign funds are heavily exiting the market, and no surprises if the market is going to break down lower. So do take note. So meanwhile, we can see on top of me here is the little bear guy, right? And we have already the red pentagon. Okay, the red pentagon comes out. This is where I get a lot of dissatisfaction when a lot of our members and the public are saying that, look, the foreign funds are leaving. We have red pentagon. What is happening in here? And the market are actually down. It's right. Even today, down 12 points, 1575. And tomorrow will be our first day lockdown for the next 12 days. And guess what? Sell in May and go away, which is a ADM, okay, ADH, all right. In investment, that basically tells you from the first week of May until the last week of October, that is the time usually where we see the market actually going through some sort of a hibernation, like the big bear that you see in here. Will this happen? Definitely it needs to break down this level here, at least to 1560 in here. So pretty much the market's going to go up, go down, go up, go down, depending on the stimulus that we see. And right now in the US section also, we continue to see resistant at the top in here. But let's take a look at the hot sector that we have now. Healthcare, we have seen this is as of 1st of May, and just tonight we will have the update to the 5th of May in here. You can see healthcare definitely has gone through a sell-off. Even logistic also went through a sell-off in here. So many things are selling off except for plantation seems to be moving up in here, and some of the industrial products in here. This is the one that you see on number 3 that seems to be, but everything else on the right hand side is actually in bear territory in here. So the hot sector in here is definitely one area that you can home in, just like we're able to home in on Fajas too, to get something moving. Not everything is moving, but we're still able to get something moving and going forward here. So and let's look at the Dow Jones, right? The Dow Jones that we've seen so far for the last 3 months continue to hover around the 33,750 in here. Could not break the 34,000. Right, the 34,000 seems to be the resistance in here. And Janet Yellen did say something about her mislip of her tongue that inflation is coming, and that's why last night we saw the big sell-off that we see in, especially in the Nasdaq, right? So that is real concern in here. That is where people start talking sell in May and go away in here. But right now, from the Dow Jones standpoint, we have to see tonight where is the support level that we are getting in here. Okay, that will be good for all right. So this is the US. So if you look at the US market now, we are still at the point where we might see a bit of correction. We don't know yet, because sell in May and go away is the pretense that people are talking about it. But having said that, those of you who are longer term, I think it's best to stay invested, because over the last 11 years, sell in May and go away, selling it is not a good strategy if you are a long term. But the shorter terms one, those tend to do much better in here. All right. Now let's look at also what is called the left brain trading. Now this is a term that we want to use, and I do think that usually when they talk about psychology, people is the least interested in, because they always want to know the latest technique in here. But the software, this is your brain, right? A lot of people like the hardware. The hardware is all the analytic tools, what technique do you, but the software, the left brain trading, is the most important one in here. This is where we want to be analytical, and the right brain, which is the intuitive, the perception, the emotional thought, is important. So our brains are actually, if this is my left side, which is on your right that you're seeing, this is the right side of the brain. So this is how our brain function. Right now, I think many of you would know about the synchronization of both left brain and right brain. Now, some people are born with 2 left brain, in the sense that they are very hardcore, rational thinker, very logical. Remember Mr. Spock from the Star Trek? The popular one, the guy who have the pointed ear. He is a truly very rational, no emotion. So that's why we call born with 2 left brain. But then there are some people who have 2 right brain, very emotion and very energetic, always kind of very emotion, very moody. That may not be suitable in where when it comes to trading plan. So the talk of tonight is actually focusing more on the left brain trading, right? Which is a very boring subject in my opinion, but it's important, especially part of the agenda that we want to be becoming a trained trader and a trained investor in here. Now let's dig into deeper what does it mean in here, and part of that exercise too. So the left brain, analytics, the right brain are the emotion, all right? So now this is, who is this guy that you see on top of me here? Anybody know? Right? Anybody know this guy? Yes, that's right. So the guy on top here is Sun Tzu. Now Sun Tzu already said, if you know yourself and your enemy, 1,000 battles will be won. All right? If you know yourself and your enemy, 1,000 battles will be won. So if you look at the left brain and the right brain, this is where they home in and make as a build. So your enemy, right, which is usually is your emotion. Sometimes you are so fearful, you worry about things, you do not know how the trade will work out. Then there's the left brain who say, look, I've done enough testing, I've learned the best technique, I know there's a right method to move forward in here, I'm able to do well. So there is always a fight, or what we call a battle, between the left brain and the right brain. So the analytic brain, which is the left brain, must win in all circumstances, because if you let the right brain control, which is your enemy, all right, knowing your enemy but not knowing yourself, it is very difficult to fight the war. This is why Sun Tzu know you must know both left brain and right brain. But here, what we want to talk about, what is some success that we've seen in the left brain. Now this is an example. This gentleman in here is called James Simmons, and I happen to have a book here. Right, this is a very good book. Talk about James Simmons, the man who solved the market. how Jim Simmons launched the quad revolution. Now, why is so interesting about this guy? This is the best performing hedge fund in the world. He and his company called Renaissance Technology. Some of you, if you have heard about this book, just type in there Jim Simmons in here, because this is the guy that you're going to talk. Now, if you look from his track record back in 1990s, which always been almost the last 30 years, right? Your $1 invested with him would have run to $521. Now, the problem with this, James Simmons, he only opened his farm to his employee. Why is that? Because every employee is already a millionaire or maybe close to a billionaire. So his medallion fund, right, has been the most profitable, almost giving 35% annualized return over 20 years. So you can see on this chart, compared to S&P, if you kept it 30 years, it's only $20. So on the medallion fund is $521. So why is it so successful? Let's dwell into in the book here. Now, one of the things that's in this book, as I said, you can see here, the same book that you see on top of you here, right? Yep. Here, right? He did mention something. A lot of time in the business of what we call smart money or in fund management, when you follow a certain tip, sometimes people think to know that is this seafood really good, or is it got to do with some sort of a luck, right? So it's very important for you to measure the frequency of correct, all right, and how well with it. You cannot always look at just one or two trades and the rest of the trade doesn't work. So probability is very important. The win rate is important. Now, this is something that they do a lot in here on the probability and the mathematics in the terms of science. So that's what the people who know to do, people who do mathematics and science tend to do very well. Now, in the book in here, inside page 30, I'm just going to read with you what are the things that they have done very successful using the left brain trading is in here. They engage a third approach, which is a technical trading, page 30 here, right? Page 30 in here. And it says that they are very sophisticated and they're reliant on the tools of maths and science, and suggesting they want to look for a certain signal that is can convey useful information about the market movement. That is very similar to what are things that we've been doing in our SmartRobie in here, knowing certain technical certain technical signals, which is the price and volume, and conveying that into mathematics. And that's what SmartRobie is born, because we employ a lot of mathematics in here. And don't forget, it got to do with a lot of mathematical approach rather being lucky at the same time. And later on, I'm going to show you the result that we have so far, why we were able to make a 15% return from January to May, despite the market hasn't gone anywhere. Is it luck or is it brain? Okay, you be the judge of it. Why don't you let me know? All right, so let's go on to what has employed in here. So the problem is we do find out that many people tend to be very emotional in the approach. Now, how many of you think that this is an issue, especially to you, right? Being when you try to approach the market, that you're using the right brain. First thing is we're going to explore is the fear, right? And like this gentleman's thinking, right? We cannot be emotional. We need to have a logical approach, and especially in the context when it comes to money, right? Where this is hard-earned money that we all have, and like it or not, we don't want to lose that money. Am I correct? Not you have this, small amount of money, small capital in here. You don't want to lose it, so you want to have as much assurance as possible. So you really want to listen to the best people in town that everyone is following, the popularity follow, you follow, and it is. And that's the fear that we have. Now let's explore at the top 4 fears that most of us have. Now, the first one is definitely failure, all right? We don't want to fail, all right? We don't want to fail. And like it or not, many people judge a certain failure by just a number of frequency. It all depends. If I done 3 trades and I lost 2 trades and win 1 trade, especially when the market is bad, then this is a failure, right? But you need to have many repetition. It's very important to determine it. A lot of people, because they're consumed with so much of the emotion, why we talk about the right brain, that they forget to know statistically, right, that this, if you continue to do it, right, making your losses small and your profit big, you're able to make it. But any failure, even a small loss, they say it as a failure, because to them, just like employment, working, all right, trading is like working. So when you go to work, every month you get gaji back, right? You get salary back. So can you imagine you work 1 month, your boss don't pay you. Another month, the boss pay you. It doesn't work like that, isn't it? So they try to think about the action of trading, buying a certain stock, just like working. It does not work that way. So this failure, financial loss, is a real one. Now, the second thing is also low confidence. There were no oversight. A lot of people coming in here under trained, as I said before, the agenda for 2021 always been train trader. They don't have much oversight. There's no people supervising them. It's more like listening to his friends, and even the friends may not be what we call very experienced in this. So that confidence is very low. They need to hang on to something, which is a tagline that you always seen before back in the 80s, right? Another one is they deem trading is also as gambling, right? And this is something that we've been brainwashed, especially when I was a kid. My parents used to tell me, stock market, that's gambling. Haven't you seen the TV back in the 80s? Especially from the Chinese context, those who watched the Hong Kong drama show in the 80s. There were a lot of this called stock market movie in the 90s, right? And a lot of them associated with gambling, and there's a lot of smart money. People who actually traded in the stock market are deemed to be very evil person, which actually lead to number 4, that money must be made the right way, which is the hard-working way, not in the stock market way. So these are some of the generally the 4 fear that we all have, and depending what it is, I think number 1 and number 2, where there's no oversight, no one supervising you, no one looking after you. Even if you go to work, there's always a supervisor that actually oversees you. Right now, for our masterclass member, those of you who have joined us, we, the coaches and myself, we oversee you and at least point you up at the right way. But those of you who are first time, who have no preferences, you tend to wander from one day to another one, and you're trying to find bearings. Where am I going? How well am I doing? Now, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, how well have you been doing on your portfolio so far for year 2021? How about year 2020? Right? So those are important considerations, especially when it comes to what we call about the left brain. Now let's talk about the left brain trading, where we talk about the rational side of it. First of all, when we use the left brain side, we have to have a very systematic way of thinking. How do we define success in trading? Right? Does it mean I lose 2 trades, I lost money, or I made maybe 10 trades, 6 trade made money, and so forth? What were the market conditions? So you need to have a control systematic way. Second, do you have a plan? I always talk about this, okay? On our breakfast show every Monday, I will do the trading plan. If those of you who have followed me on the breakfast show, you know that I have that. And then number 3, able to solve problem logically, analysis, and focus on the detail. This is where different people with different mindset, if those people have the wrong mindset, the very emotional one, they tend to ignore, because maybe they're just plain lazy, right? They don't want to focus on the detail. And then also focus on factual data to make money in the market, just like what Jim Simmons say. It's not luck. It's got to do with brains, okay? So this is where, we at Trade VSA and with SmartRobie, we overlook our data and represent them very objectively. And finally, we remember the pattern setup. Again, those of you who have followed Zac every Monday and Tuesday and even Friday, we continue to talk about pattern setup. Very, very important in here, right? These are what we call the left brain logic. Now let's look at the right brain, which is the emotional side of things, okay? It's to be random. They use a lot of abstract, because things that they don't quite understand, they just sort of use some sort of a thinking, the market is up or the market is down, by just a single reference in here. What are the facts? So this is where we talk about science and opinion. They have a lot of opinion, and remember, some of these opinion are tied to the fear we talk about, if they were born in the 80s and 90s like me, when we grew up, then a lot of trading are associated as gambling. So those is again another thinking. And usually they don't have plans. They will sort of buy first and then try to jump in and then improvise. And they will say, hey, what are my friends all doing in here? If my friends didn't cut loss, then this is their issue in here. All right, so and then fourth, they rely on a lot of intuition. Again, they solve problem based on past experience of very emotion in here, the right brain in here. So if you have a trade that's not working, what was your past experience? For most people, they just hang on, all right, and they just tahan, what they call it, never mind, don't cut loss. because it is unrealized loss, so it's not a problem. But at the end of the day, we grade you, or we anticipate year in, year out, you have to make money. Let's look at the reason why we go in the stock market is to make money, right? Logically, based on facts, there's no lying or whatever the case in, right? And again, they're very subjective. A lot of very subjective. So what usually happens also, people do sometimes, look, I have done 5 trades, the 3 very bad trades, right? I don't count them, because I didn't cut loss. Those 2 trades I took very quick profit, and I always think about the winning trades. I never think about the losing trade. But remember, in any portfolio, if you have 5 trades, those 5 trades have to be part and parcel of it. You cannot just ignore the bad one and think about the good one. Why? It's very simple. The bad one, the losing trade, are the one that hurt the most, and that's the one that you're trying to forget. The good trades is the one that you rely on, because it gives you this nice feeling flow of dopamine on the back of your brain, right? Because this is what you live for. You like that kind of feeling, and that's why people call, or people think, trading, especially when they make money, they have this money coming in, they like that kind of feeling, right? Do you agree or not, right? And that seems to be the flavor of most people in here. And then they only remember certain pattern. Yeah, I heard about this pattern label, right? Remember, when we come to the left brain trading, we are concerned about the setup, the little detail. But on the right brain, they only remember the label, which is breakout, but they do not know what kind of breakout works. Or they buy pullback, but they don't know what kind of pattern. So again and again, what we always said before, it is important, part of our educational programs, to roll this out and to identify where are the gaps so we can attack them and improve on them. So that is why we are very proud of today. Many of our students, even those of you listening in here, has benefited in there. And we try to explain this enough. Now, in the context for success in 2021, it has to be these few things, right? First of all, we want all our students, including yourself, to have a self-worth, mental preparation and conditioning, right? Because there will be difficult times, especially right now. Even tonight, we don't get many people coming because the market is not hot. We just have a red pentagon. People say, oh goodness, red pentagon. I don't want to know anything about it, right? So trading is not about just having tools and system, but also the right emotional state, right? Remember, we always talk about, right? Be ready when the market is going through very bearish market, okay? Learn to like bad news. I know many people live for good news. That's how our emotional state is. But do not let the emotional, right, conquer you too. So the success in 2021, when you combine 1 and 2, then you would not give up. Okay, because when you give up, then you will just move on to something else, or maybe I just follow some tips here. You will likely not succeed. So this is where you need a process of success, retraining and reflecting on past mistake and correcting. Now, I'm going to ask you all now, what was your past mistake over the last 3 months? What have you done wrong? Do you know them? Do you have a systematic way of making it? So one of the things that we do very well, we can see here, this is a conversation between one of our members and our coach, Coach Arlif here in here. And just like to highlight it, and this, she was quite happy. She got 20% for MSC today, following the Pentagon guided trading in here. And that's something that we're going to talk about later on a further in our slide. So she said that right now the KLCI is bearish because we follow those rules. All right, we have a rules, very systematic, very logical thinking, and she's staying out. And in the past, when there's a lot of trades going up, she feels FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Again, a very emotional stage, isn't it? Very emotional stage, because the market's moving right now. If you look at all the steel counter, which I'm going to talk about it, so they want to get in, but the rules that we talk about when the market is bearish, so she said that sometimes in our chat room have a lot of hot stocks, hot news, but I don't feel the need to trade or catch the hot stock anymore. Finally, I found a system that worked with my trading style. Thank you again, Sifu Alif, isn't it, right? So this is what we talk about, how we are able to turn a very average trader or investor to following a system, having the condition and the preparation in here, but finally not giving out, but knowing what to do, right? And this has always been something that we're very proud of. All right. So along the same line, and we think that those of you, especially like this person, Jess, inside here, we're able to fast track it, right? And if you look at the picture in here, a goat in the mountain, very, very dangerous, isn't it, right? If you're on the wrong track only, you will fall off, isn't it? And falling off in the mountain is very similar to continue to lose money year in and year out and not understanding why about it, right? So life become more efficient if you're on the right track with the right guidance. And that's the message I want to put on. You need to be on the right track. When you're not on the right track, right, what we call using the right brain trading and not using the left brain, what is your action plan? What are you intend to do in here? And we're going to do a short test in here. Okay, now even if I give you some of the best trade idea in here, can you still make money? Now this is very interesting. I want to share with everybody. This just came out on Tuesday, right? For small is beautiful, and these are the top 20 small cap KLSE cards. For those of you who want to, you can take a copy of this one. And what I want to share with you in here, for year 2020. Now take note, not every year make money. The 20 jewel. Top 20 jewel from RHB Frank. In year 2020, the stocks continue to outperform the market with a return of 101%. Of course, we're coming from a low base. But what about 2021? Now, these are the stock for 2021, which talk about in 2020. Remember, we can't take the past to the future. Again, if you take the past to the future, past 100%. This year can also make that much. No, that's a right brain thinking. We have to switch to a left brain thinking in here. So if you notice, some of the stocks in the small caps are GDB, HSS, KKB, In Nature, Malaysian Flask, Petzl, Texing, Solution Group, okay, ES, Ceramic, Haptic, we started more Jack, Pentec, Perak Transit, Star Media, okay, and we have Charimin Petroleum, Usma, Emulus, KESM, and End-to-End Connect. So you have to ask yourself in here, will I make money following any system? Now I know the stocks I have here, this 20 euro, but do I have a system? Can I use Pentagon Guider to follow this? And can I exit out? Now when we talk about having Pentagon Guider to follow it with this list, that's good, okay? But the question is, you are using the left brain, but do you know during the path of the trade? Now, every path of a trade, each one you need to hold a fair bit. Now, what about the emotion during that period of holding it? What goes through in your mind if you hold some of these 20 stocks? Have you considered them? Right? So this is again, what we want to do is to lead to left brain thinking, where we have a system, logical way of doing when to exit, when to... We're going to talk more in the further slides here. All right, so let's do a self-assessment in here. And I do note that we have two ways. First, we'll do 10 questions in here. We're going to go through it. Either we do it self-assessment, or we do another one, which we will do will be the guided one, right? The guided one will you submit on Google Sheets here. So let me just share with you in here. Now, there are two QR codes in here. All right, so you want to choose where you do the self-assessment. That will be on the left-hand side. If you want to do the guided one, so you submit the guided one, and then we will send you the assessment by WhatsApp mail. All right, take a look at it. So what you want to do, take a picture of this QR code, right? And we're going to go through that 10 questions. Now choose what you want to do. When you do self-assessment, it's because you don't want people to know your results. You will tally the result yourself, and then you will know, because we want to take this result that you have whenever you come across it, especially this Saturday, and move on to the next level. So this will be a first assessment in here. Self-assessment, you do the one on the left. If you do the one on the right, submit in, but you need to give me your you need to give us your email, mobile number, your name, all right, and your SmartRobie QR code, so we are able to send you the result. So this is what I mean. I just share with you here. Okay, so take a look at that one. So this is a self-assessment one. I'm going to share with you this one in here. So there are only 10 questions only inside here. So when you complete the self-assessment, you send me your name, contact number, and email. We will submit back to you for the result. But if you want to have some sort of a privacy, you don't want people to catch out you, then you do the one on number one. Okay, number one is self-assessment. You can tally the result yourself. All you got to do is just show me where you are. So it's good that you have a self-assessment, whether you're using the left brain or using the right brain in there. Let's do this, okay? All right? Okay. Are you ready? Okay, hit that and make sure you download a copy of. I think many of you who are shy, who don't like to, don't like to expose too much of your privacy, just do number 1. But those of you who may want us to help you out, then you want to do number 2, which is on the submit guided assessment there. Okay. Andy is asking about no stock comment today. Yeah, and today we won't be commenting any stocks. Okay. We won't be commenting any stocks. Stocks, we keep it on the breakfast show. Okay, for breakfast show, or Monday and Tuesday for Zac section. Today is more on knowing the lesson learned. Okay, because if you don't do this necessary about how your software of your brain work, no point mean looking at it, because when you look at certain stocks, it's only temporary. But what we want to know is to further provide the path for you to grow. I'm sure you all want to grow, right, as a trader. You don't want to be every day come and ask the seafood, every day come and ask the seafood. But we also want you to grow as a trader and as a investor. This is what we talk about, the agenda for 21, what we call, okay? So if you download this, okay? So I hope you have a chance to download the assessment in here. So let's take a look at the question that we have. Number 1, okay? Number 1, we do it, okay? So question number 1, we'll be looking at what makes you to trade. Okay, now this is for assessment number 1. Now if you want to download it just above you here, you can download that question here, because you need to do this. If you do this, then we are able to have a better assessment. What prompts you to make a trade? First question. Is that a need to make money? A certain indicator or trade? Choose the one that fits the best. Or do you feel that, all right, a gut feeling inside there is a gut feeling that's why you want to do it. All right. Number 2, do you feel inside when a trade goes wrong, it looks like if you're going to make a big loss, what do? Do you panic? Do you fear? Do you need to get out, right? As it's possible to cut loss, or you're disappointed because you didn't get it right, or you said, hey, no big deal, but I can recuperate the loss in another trade. What is the right answer for you? Everyone will have a different answer depending on your level, and that's why it's important. What we want to do here tonight is to do assessment of what we call your conditioning of your brain. Then you're able to move forward in here. I do know psychology is the most difficult one, but this is the best that we can do over live FB to do a psychological counseling right now here. All right. Some of you may not even want to do this, which is fine, but those of you who want to participate and want to improve, again, part and parcel of what we call train trader and train investor, and this is what you go. Let's go on to the third question. All right, if you have a copy of the PDF that you downloaded, again, the QR code is on top. Make sure you download it in here, and you can print it out and mark it, the answer. So number 3, what do you do when the trade goes wrong? Do you try to fix it or do you let it go? All right. If you try to fix it, try to recur it also with another trade, go back to my demo account or let it go and learn from it. Again, what we talk about mistakes, right? The success for 2021 is what for you? Now, number 4, question number 4. If you try to fix it, do you normally succeed or do the thing get worse? Things usually get worse when I jump in too fast without doing my homework. I don't try to recover my losses because it never worked for me in the past. All right? Or I succeed, but I go out for fresh air, declare my mind, and look at other options. What was the right answer for you? Okay, what is the right answer for you? Again, I cannot emphasize this more and more. What we talk about Sun Tzu, art of war. Okay, if you don't know yourself, and the other side of you too, your enemy, many battles will not be won. But once you do this, you're able to do so. All right, so let's keep it going. Let's do this. Okay. I know this is something not exciting. Many of you will know what stock to buy, but those we can do it on our breakfast show. Remember some of the stocks that we talk about in here. So number 5, when a trade goes wrong, what are the reasons as far as you know? Fear of missing out, FOMO, fatigue, didn't do enough homework, I didn't trust my intuition, right? What is right for you? Number 6, question number 8. What do you think when the particular form that are your particular form of sabotage that prevents you from having the success you wanted, right? What stopped you from being best? Really, that is a very good question. What stops you from being the really best? Is it because you don't have time? Because you're always busy? Normally when you're always busy is because your priorities. Alright, you just need to make it a priority. It nothing to do with me. Trading is essentially gambling, so I know the risks. Looking to trade or waiting for the trade to come to you. Okay. Let's go on to question 7. Okay, question 7 is, what do you think is your greatest strength when it comes to trading? Again, right? For those of you who want to do, the QR code is up there. Apparently this one is been, I'm just going to bring up the QR code for you. Okay, so the QR code in front here, right? Is it sound analysis, willing to take risks, or my intuition? Remember, luck and the brain, okay? And number 8, what do you think is your greatest weakness? FOMO, high expectation, not enough preparation, not trusting enough in your gut feeling when I make a particular trade, it's going to work out, okay? What is it? Because when you look deeply some of these questions, then you would really know who you really are, okay? Let's go on to the next one. We're coming to question 9. Just 10 questions, that's all. 10 questions. Do certain aspects of your personal life flow into your trading and affect your performance? Yes. So this is the part that sometimes what we do as a person get reflected in our trading. If you are successful in life, or you are the worst in your life, your anger, your stubbornness, your day-to-day, how you solve problems, that will be reflected in your trading. And especially some profession too, if you're engineer, accountant in here, that you're very calculated, that will also bring into trading. Because trading is all about probability, and that's what we talk about, the left brain and the right brain, having a logical approach, looking at the facts, doing a contingency planning in here, all right? And the last one, number 10, okay, we go through it slowly. What do you think is your personal block to success and abundance? My poverty mindset, which means I'm not willing to spend time. No, we here at Trade are willing to spend time in this survey, guiding you and trying to, get you through the market in here. So the least you could do is at least, take an attempt on completing this questionnaire and see how well you fare. All right. Or my belief that money must be earned the hard way. There's no easy shortcut. Or I get more comfortable with easy financial burdens. The key point here is to note that there are abundance in the market. Just like I'm trying to say, if the KLSE market don't have trades to trade, can we trade the US market? Of course we can trade. The only one that we are thinking is because of my mentality. I can only do KLSE market. I cannot do US market. So if you can open up that mind, knowing the enemy and knowing yourself, financial abundance is there. And that helps me a lot over the years. These are some of the experiences that I find over the years have opened up me a lot, and I've been very, very successful in the stock market, and something that I really want to share with you in the audience in here. All right. Okay, so we've done that again. Now the results we will discuss. Okay, the result we will discuss on this coming Saturdays. Of course, those of you who have done the self-assessment, the results is in there on page, I think it's page 4. Okay, page 4 of the result in here. You can do that one. And when I ask you on Saturday, all right, just share with me what is your score. You'll be either from 1 to 30 points. I repeat again, 1 to 30 points, okay? So in between, there are certain scores inside there. So those of you who want to know more, because we want to make this as the part 1, tonight is the part 1, and part 2 will be our free investing workshop in our Zoom meeting this coming Saturday. So that's the registration number. There's a Zoom link in there. You can join in and we're going to discuss more, because it's just that there's just too many things to do tonight. But I want to take away for those of you who are interested to learn, again, being part of the agenda for 2021, train trader and train investor. You will realize there are more to this question than just knowing the technique. The software, the brain is important. Okay. So I want to sum it up in here at the possible solution, right? Some of the questions that you're going is from this great book called Max Gunter. Now, this is really from a family of Swiss banker, okay, called Zurich Axiom. And these are the rules and risk reward return. Again, very left brain trading, very logical. So that's why I said this is a possible solution for those of you in here. And in this book, if you can get hold of it, it's a very old book, written back in 1960s. Okay, you can get it from Kinokuya in here. And one of the axiom talks about risk, right? Which you may all find it very interesting. Worry is not a sickness, but a sign of health. if you are not worried about your investment, you're not risking enough. Wonderful, isn't it? Because a lot of time when we sleep very well, despite having a position in the market, you're not taking risks. So think of it, you cannot make money, right? And Max Gunther sums up very well. Look at this guy, a family of Swiss banker. Now remember, Switzerland did not become a powerful nation by sitting and not thinking about risk and reward. And this is from a generation of Swiss banker in here, right? Profound thing. And number two, okay, let me just move this up too so you can see it better. Okay, number two, action on greed, right? Always take profit too soon, right? Always, the problem is many of us are very greedy. We take profit too soon. So you need to decide in advance how much you want to make from a venture. And when you get it, get out. All right, so you resolve this how much is enough greed problem, right? Because that will lead to the next question that I'm going to talk about into. How much is enough? So again, a very logical thing, because if you use your emotion, again, right? Again, let's say you make some losses, so you need this trade to make money as much as possible. But you do not know how much is enough. Again, another possible solution on greed, handling greed in here. Okay? So this is a great book. And Max Gunther also summed up, it is unlikely the God plan in the universe include making you rich. And that's very, very profound. A lot of time we think that we have this entitlement out there. We are supposed to make money. But if you don't reprogram your brain that you need to work on the left brain, it's very difficult. And I find these are some of the stumbling blocks. I see people not able to move forward in here. All right. So if you're not done that exercise, the 10 feedback, please do it. I hope you have done so. And those of you who have done it, please feedback on the comment there, said I've done it. Okay, or some of you are doing while you're driving, no problem. Okay, right, do that one and come back to the, I will leave the self-assessment here. Okay, okay, let me just go back. Some of you are driving, so you can come back and look at the quote here to give you this. Let me just go back and get that quote for you. Okay. Okay, here is the 10 question. Okay, so I'll drop the QR code for that one, so you should be fine. Okay, how many of you have completed it? If you have completed, just type 2. If you have completed that question or intend to complete it, please type 2. All right, I hope more of you will do it, as we took the effort to ensure that you all get it done, and so we are here to help you. Okay, we are here definitely to help you. Okay, let's move on to the question in here to find the kind of assessment that you have. Okay, so Max Gunther, we talk about that, and then we want to have a very effective monitoring system that you can adopt. This is from our coaches here. Again, we talk about the technique in here. When you enter a system, right, do you have a chance to backtest some of the trades they're doing? A lot of people just rely on what we call tips, right? But they do not know when to get out, what in between what they want to do. Okay, so this is another issue in here, because you only have the idea, right? But we also need to explain to you what is the level of stop loss, the level of monitoring, what is the position sizing, right? And also keeping record, because this again will fall into the data part of the logical thinking, the left brain thinking in here. Okay, then you want to maintain your trading statistics. Again, this is important because I'm going to share with you now. So of course, our trade VSA pass criteria is going to be this one here. It's definitely going to be, first, it has the system or the technique that you're doing, it has to be profitable a long time. It gives a chance, a user a chance to profit, that it's credible, that you can back test it, just like the steps I'm giving you. Anybody can run this system with minimum training, okay? And of course, a small capital. These are the minimum 5 criteria we need to have for trade VSA. So definitely the SmartRobie system. And even this books talk about some of these, passing this criteria in here, that it can be back tested, anyone can run it, whether it's Malaysian market or US market. Just that maybe Malaysian market right now don't have any opportunity. You might want to move over to US. That's possible too. So here is a very good example of our system that we see. Now if you look from here, our portfolio trading, portfolio strategy, which I've talked about it every our breakfast show in here. If you look back to 2020, okay, 2020 to January, February, the system that we have made about 106% returns on the 35,000 in here. That's very good. If you look back for let's say if you look at $1, you actually make 100%, you make up to $2 in here. So that is the notion that we did. But what very important is, you can't see this, let me just move this up a bit for you, right, is the statistic that we intend to collect. Okay, let me just switch to, okay, is the win rate. Now in 2020, January to February, we generated 17 trades. All right, and 70 trade, we win 14 of them. So that gives a 82% trade, and that's why it's a very high win rate, 80% win rate, and there's no doubt about it. That's why you get 106%. So going this year, okay, this is a back tested in here. Going this year, same kind of fixed rule that we are doing, right, is generating 15% from January to May with a win rate of 75% because we didn't hit 82% like last year. Now here's a lead up. If our win rate are about 80%, it's likely going towards the end of the year, we can hit pretty similar to that, right? Right now, our win rate are lower than last year, 82%, so 75% in here. So my take is we will not do as well as last year, right? Which means we will be likely to be below 100% return for year 2020. But we are quite happy if you compare to the KLCI, all right? That amount, which is only a minus 3% here. So this is about a 75% in here. That for a portfolio of 31,000 real money in here. Now, just want to show you here is using the real. Now, this is the trade that we have exited so far for Fajar and Southern Steel. Again, Southern Steel we exited at 95 cents. All match, right? That's the one that actually we trade. And also a new trade that we have done for on Fajar. Okay, some of you have done pretty well on Fajar too. Let's take a look at the trade in here. Now, we opened the trade back in February 11, 2021. Now, if you look at the emotional side of things, we enter at the rules that we say that we enter at the green pentagon. We run it for 3 months or whichever comes first, a 30%. So we hit 30% 2 days ago. But of course, your emotion, if you are not trained, you're using the right brain. This is a very good example that, hey, I should let it run. If I let it run, I could have made additional 24% return, correct? Because you exceeded at 31 ma. This is the part where you could have let it run until this evening, close at 5 o'clock. The market, Southern Steel was 115. Now remember, everything in the KLCI market fell apart. Our market was down, we hit below 15, and yet Pentagon Guider, a system that has been back tested, again going back to what we call the mathematical trading approach, we are still able to make this kind of profit on the 30%. My take is that many of you are thinking, why don't I let the profit run? Why do I have to take at 30%? It's because due to our back testing that we have done, and again, something that we'll talk about this Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m. about our rules. If that's something that you feel that is suitable for you, do come and check us out too, all right? And we're going to be sharing you those rules as part and parcel of our training here, right? So if you notice in here, the win rates, so the new trade that we initiated is Fajar. So you can see Fajar is about 14% in the money. We have another trade VS, which is just making a small loss here, right? Real money, real trading. And again, this Saturday, we will discuss some of the rules that we have, and do join us on the So if you look at the trade that we just opened on 3rd of May, again, this was a trade I shown on the Monday. All right, the Monday when we did our breakfast show for Fajar. So you can see our entry was here at 745. Now it's about 84 cents, and that's how we got about the 14% return on a green pentagon here. Will this run for 30%? Let's see how it is. So we all run it very systematically, how we want to share with you, how we do those trades, and you're able to see how we are doing it and able to do what we call a left brain trading. So the lesson will continue this coming Saturday. So make sure you join me. It's just that the time that we have, it's almost come to an end for tonight. I don't want to keep it too long. I do know tomorrow. Meanwhile, we do believe knowledge and training is very, very important. Just like the training we are doing. Now, those of you who reply me is going to do the question. Some people have done it. Okay, I only have one person, Rehan. Yes, a lot of you have done it. Okay, great. Okay, and that's going to be great. Our fellow members in here. Okay, let's look at. So do take note. No one can stop learning. We all can learn, and the more that you learn, you'll stay young. And that's my handful. And you look at this guy, Elon Musk, continue to surprise the world with new technologies. What he has, the FSD, full driving software cars that you have eventually can drive by itself. So Elon Musk tip is to stay young. All right, to stay young, you need to always continue to learn. Now, of course, one way to learn is no other than our June intake for our masterclass. Those of you who don't know, and those of you who are masterclass member, do come back for June intake, right? And this is one of the real benefit. We have 3 benefits inside here. The masterclass. These are the syllabus we talk about, right? And also you get the plugin that you've seen on the charts, our trade VSA, many more, our screener and our discussion in Telegram, and also 3 is our almost 400 pages, 300 pages of course notes ready for you. So we have all this benefit in here, and also inclusive our 12-month plus coaching, which we talk about the guidance, like we just had Coach Arif and also Zaz building a system that is very suitable for them, and want you to move away from the emotional trading to what we call the rational trading. And the key is that questionnaire that you do. So it's all up to you, as we are here to help you, and we want you to do so in here, ready and willing. And you can see so far our results are pretty good compared to KLCI, which is a 3%. We are up 15% so far in here. So all in all, we've been very successful in the past, and going forward with our coaches that you see on this left hand side in here, these coaches, we are very, very thankful to them. Over the years experience that you have, you can always follow them once you come to join our community in here. Zac, you can always see that you can follow him every Monday and Tuesday, and also Arif, our coach here. And this is a special promotion that we have for, it will close on the 12th of May. If you're considering it, something that you wish to join our fraternity and upgrade your skill, the June intake is just right for you, okay? And you will get those 4 great benefits, the coaching, the notes, the plugin, as well as the methodology that is successful, what we have shared with you so far. All right, and also you get another screener for growth screener for both the Malaysian market in here. You can get for, as well as getting the US market, because right now US market there is a lot of opportunities right now too. Okay, for that one, and you're able to get industrial screener too. So a lot of tools that you have, guidance, system, and a profitable way. All right, and people who have joined us have great things to say. And really what Tom say, the father of volume spread, is really understanding the different market condition. Maybe just right now the KLSE market may not present it, but yet we're able to find Fajar, which is moving up, and this is due to the sector rotation that we talked about earlier on. All right, of course, those of you who are ready, you can open up a US discount account open. Those of you who want to, this is the number that you want to use, especially some of our masterclass have not opened up a US site. This is the number that you want to do, and you'll get 1,000 free credit upon opening. Okay, so that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for really coming in here. And if you felt that our talk tonight was great, here's a QR code. Do review us on Google Play, now Google reviewer, and we're very happy with any comment that you leave. And I will take some question that you have. Tonight we won't be reviewing any stocks or whatever the case is. We usually do it in our breakfast show, to be frank with you, or our evening session every month. But tonight is more of the software part that we need to work on the other aspect, because we want to work all aspects, because we want you to be a well-rounded trader, a well-rounded investor, which means we want to focus on the mental preparation, we want to focus you on the software of your brain, the tools, and the trade idea we focus and none of that. And also don't forget to join us also this Saturday. All right, this Saturday, make sure you join us for Investing Basic, how to which is actually a continuation from tonight. Okay, so I'll take some question if you have. Okay, Thank you for your support for all our members there. If any questions, if there's no questions, and if you do have any question, there is a WhatsApp in here, right? Can you show the info for this Saturday session? Info. Oh, the Saturday info session is basically you need a QR code for. I'll just put up. No, on the right hand side you see the pin here, the pin comment. Join our free session, investing basics on how to invest with low return and high. That's a free. It's a free seminar because we want to continue where we left off tonight with the what we call the left brain trading. And we're going to start off with left brain trading. We're going to work on to the fundamental, the technical side, and we will be talking a lot about techniques over there. Okay, so make sure you join us this Saturday 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you have any question, there is also a WhatsApp. You can contact us or you can send us a mail at support@tradebsa.com. Okay, we are here to help, and don't forget to like us and to share this video in your timeline, and don't forget to review us on Google Play Store. We really appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed tonight for our left brain trading in here, and I'll be with you on Friday for our breakfast show, if not Saturday at 1 p.m. for our Zoom workshop. That's right, that's the one I'm very excited in here, and we are doing it as a service to educate you, part and parcel of the goal to becoming train trader and train investor. With that, good night, and I'll see you later, if not sooner. Bye bye.